Pound for Pound Sports Entertainment. Hit the like button, comment below, share, do all of that. It's your host F Merritt. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, comment below, share, do all of that right now. While you're at it, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I greatly appreciate y'all, man. It's your host F Merritt. We had some big fights last night, ladies and gentlemen. We had the Zone, of course, had the Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos Jr. fight. Great fight up in New York, Madison Square Garden at the Hulu Theater. Great crowd. Great fight, controversy, however you want to call it, and it was just a lot of stuff to unpack, man. We had that fight, and we had Vegas, fight in Vegas with Stephen Fulton, Cool Boy Steph, and Brandon Figueroa. Unification. I believe it went 122. That was a great fight as well. Went to the scorecards, man. But listen, we're gonna start with Teofimo Lopez, George Kambosos. Now, listen, made a video. I let things, happen after the fight as far as other fighters chiming in, possible fights that could happen in the future, um, different quotes, things that happened after the fight as far as Teofimo Lopez running up, grabbing the microphone, basically doing a Kanye West on George Kambosos. Like, hey man, congratulations, but I just want to say something kind of thing, I didn't like that, number one. And Teofimo Lopez came up there. A lot of people say Teofimo Lopez got up there and came up with a whole bunch of excuses. Whole bunch of excuses. Like, oh, well, the weight, and I've been there and done that, and it's just want to spend time with my son and stuff. And there's no problem with that. If you want to spend time with your son, cool. He just had a baby. Congratulations to the Teofimo Lopez family. All love and respect to y'all. You know what I'm saying? You earn that right. You deserve that right to spend time with your family. I mean, it's been a long, drawn out situation as far as like the zone Triller purse bid, top rank, you know, COVID-19 situation, pushback. It's been a lot. Okay, so Teofimo Lopez saying he was going to be in Creed 3, going on vacations and stuff. Listen, in my mind, I already knew. In my mind, in my heart, I knew Teofimo Lopez was going to lose that fight. I knew it. I knew it. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I thought he was going to win the fight, but I knew he was going to lose because it's too many distractions. He already was having problems making 135. He made it, but I mean, listen, even Kambosos called it out. He was like, man, you drained, and then he said a couple other things that I thought was very interesting, saying, yeah, look at your team, everybody that was with you before, they all left. They're not here anymore. And these belts are your curse. And hey, if you can't handle the pressure of having all these belts, the limelight, you trying to not only defend your titles, but also become a star, if you can't handle it, man, it's going to show. And that's exactly what happened. After the fight, Teofimo Lopez, well, first of all, let's talk about the cut. The cut that George Kambosos gave Teofimo Lopez, I believe, on his right eye, I believe, man. Listen, it was a bad cut. I was worried because New York they will stop a fight over a cut. Now, at first, I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't. But then the 12th round, when they started leaking and stuff, and then after the fight, when they got on the microphone, it was a bad cut. I understand why they wanted to stop it. Well, not stop it, but at least take a look at it, man. But it's a lot of things to unpack from that fight. Listen, man. First of all, it was a great fight. Congratulations to George Kambosos. He handled his business. He's a champion, unified champion. Some people would say he's undisputed. That's a whole nother topic that I will be getting into. He came in with a great game plan. Teofimo Lopez, he came out like a bat out of hell, man. He was ready to get after George Kambosos from round one. As soon as that bell rang, he ran across the ring, trying to get Kambosos out of there. He was catching Kambosos early with a lot of right hands. I guess he just got lazy for 1 second. Kambosos came over the top, fop, and put Teo down. I think that was his kryptonite as far as trying to start so early. And maybe Teo blew his load, once he started seeing like, okay, well, this guy's taking my shots. I'm not getting this guy out of here. I put a lot into these shots. I'm sitting down on these shots early. So now I got to go through the rest of the fight, try to recover. And that's kind of what happened. Teofimo Lopez caught a second win. And he started to slow Kambosos down, take his time a little bit. The issue I have is maybe Teofimo Lopez corner, meaning his father slash trainer, should have been telling him, instead of telling him, get this guy out of here or giving the advice that he was getting him, he should have told him, hey, settle down, relax. You blew your load, started off too fast. Let's go to Kambosos' body, because Kambosos was getting stronger. The longer the fight was going, Kambosos was getting stronger. He was able to find his timing, take his time, pick his shots, throw a lot of clean shots. He was even playing to the crowd, you know what I'm saying? So he was winning these rounds hands down. Now, what Teo should have been doing was going to Kambosos' body. He should have been trying to counterpunch and go to Kambosos' body until your second wind kicked in the second half of the fight. That's what he should have been doing. That fight, he would have slowed him down if he would have went to the body and then came over the top with something. That's what he should have been doing. That's what Teofimo Lopez should have been doing. Middle rounds, go to Kambosos' body, you slow him down, then you mix it up and throw a couple shots over the top. Now you got him all, off balance. Your second wind kicks in, bam, you get him up out of there. But Teofimo Lopez, he didn't go to the body much. I didn't see not one body punch until probably the 5th or 6th round. Now listen, I don't know if Teofimo Lopez was running out of ideas or he underestimated how tough George Kambosos was, because Teofimo Lopez turned southpaw, I believe, in the 6th round. And maybe he did that to confuse Kambosos, but you turned southpaw, but nothing really changed. Now, Teofimo Lopez was able to win some rounds here and there in the middle part of the fight. Second half of the fight, he tried to turn it on a little bit. He dropped George Kambosos in I believe, the 9th round, had him stumbling. He was in jeopardy. Listen, George Kambosos was in jeopardy of getting stopped. He was. He got dropped, wobbly, legs were gone a little bit, got saved by the bell a little bit, came back out to set the next round and settled down. And in my mind, if he didn't win both of those rounds, he won at least the 11th round. Sealed the win, sealed the deal, got the job done. Great fight. George Kambosos really handled his business, man. True warrior. Teofimo Lopez is a warrior, but George Kambosos was a better man that night. I don't like the taking the microphone and saying excuses and doing all this stuff. Listen, man, you lost. You give Kambosos respect the way that he gave you respect after the fight. Because it was a very tough fight as far as the buildup and the animosity and the personal stuff and some stuff, of course, they're trying to build the fight and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that was a good fight, man. Salute to the Zone for picking that up. That was a good fight. What does Teofimo Lopez do next, man? Like, you just lost all your belts at 135. You lost your leverage. You could have went to 140 and fought for Undisputed at the against Josh Taylor. That would have been a great fight. Now, not only do you lose, but you're not going to get that fight. You have to go back to Bob Arum, who's probably lighting up right now and pissed off at you because you just lost the whole lightweight division for him. Eddie Hearn, pretty much, he's like Thanos out here with the rings, with the stones, with the Infinity Stones. He's got them. The only thing that Eddie Hearn needs is for Devin Haney to go out there and beat Jojo Diaz. That's it. And at the same time, if Jojo Diaz beats Devin Haney, depending on if they have a rematch clause or not, which they probably do have a rematch clause, because Eddie Hearn is just notorious for rematch clauses. But if Jojo Diaz beats Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia is probably going to poke his head out and be like, hey, I'll fight you, kind of like how he did last night after the fight was over with. He gets on Twitter and says, hey, my return fight, I'll fight Kambosos. No, you're not. No, you won't. Go sit down somewhere, Ryan Garcia. Nobody's thinking about you. All respect to you. Good fighter. You're hurt. You're hurt. You've been inactive. Go sit down somewhere, man. Nobody's thinking about you. You are not in this conversation right now. Maybe you can win your return fight. But I was about to say maybe Ryan Garcia can become a mandatory. But then again, he was already Devin Haney's mandatory. But yeah, you're out the conversation there, buddy. And Eddie Hearn has already came out and said that he would like to make Teofimo Lopez. I mean, not Teofimo Lopez. He would like to make George Kambosos and Devin Haney for Undisputed. It can be in America. It can be in Las Vegas. It can be in Australia, wherever you want to do it. wherever you want to do it. And I think that's a very interesting matchup. But like I said, Kambosos handled his business. Devin Haney, I believe, when is he fighting? Next week in Vegas. Yeah, I think he's got to handle his business against JoJo, which is no easy task. No easy task at all. JoJo is a tough dude, man. He's gonna come. He's gonna keep coming the entire time, man. And it's gonna be a great fight. So we'll see how Devin Haney can adjust to a ferocious fighter in JoJo Diaz fighting in Las Vegas at the MGM Grand. You guys check it out. I believe the tickets are damn near sold out, man. So I mean, hey, it's gonna be a good fight, man. Salute to both those guys. But yeah, man. At the end of the day, now see that's just so funny. That was kind of gonna run me into my next question, right? Is Kambosos now undisputed at 135? Is Kambosos undisputed now? Because you can't be undisputed if Eddie Hearn is saying, I want to make Devin Haney Kambosos at 135 for undisputed next. I thought Kambosos was already undisputed. And it's no, this ain't, Kambosos never said he was undisputed. This was all Teofimo Lopez saying he was undisputed. Him getting up there with Canelo holding your belts. No. No, it don't work like that. And many people have been in many debates, arguments, especially within the last couple hours, since the fight ended. Kambosos is not undisputed. Teofimo Lopez was not undisputed at 135. Let me say this again. Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez were not undisputed. The franchise belt is not a real belt. Even if you want to count it as a real belt, you still got it. It's still disputed. Even if Teofimo Lopez would have won this fight and came out and said, hey, I'm undisputed. I'm going to 140. I don't care. I was undisputed 135. Him doing all these antics, getting up there with Canelo with all your belts, right? Him going around calling himself undisputed. Even ESPN playing into the, no disrespect to ESPN, but them playing into it saying, oh, he's undisputed. No, you are not undisputed. You don't have all the belts. Devin Haney has the WBC belt. He has the belt. You could say what you want. Oh, well, Loma got the belt taken and they gave it to. Okay, cool. Go get it. Go get it. You see Kambosos. Look, Eddie Hearn and Kambosos going to make that fight happen. They're going to give Kambosos a hell of a payday, career high payday. And that's it. We're going to make that fight happen for Undisputed. It's a true Undisputed fight. That franchise stuff, man, get up out of here with that, bro. I don't want to hear nothing about that. Oh, something wrong with my stream. What's going on? What's going on with my stream? Wait a minute. Wait a minute, ladies and gentlemen. We got an issue here. We good? Okay, I don't know what just happened, but yeah. I don't know, something with the connection, man. I got to upgrade to AT&T fiber. I think I'm going to do that today. But all I'm saying is I don't want to hear nothing about no undisputed. Kambosos isn't undisputed. Okay. Teofimo Lopez was not undisputed. You getting up there with your antics, sitting in front of Canelo and talking to him, talking to them, bringing your belts to the press conferences. You were never undisputed, sir. No. You don't get to put your name in the same category as Terrence Bud Crawford, Usyk, Josh Taylor? Canelo Alvarez? No. You still got it. You're still disputed. Kambosos is still disputed. Kambosos, that's why he's not going around calling himself undisputed. That was T.O. trying to build himself up, put him on another level that he's not yet. No, you beat the man in Lomachenko. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now you just lost. Kambosos just took everything you just worked for. He's the man at 135. He's got all the belts. He's got a country behind him. I believe, I don't know if Bob makes that fight happen immediately, but I don't know. I don't even know how that works. But all I'm saying is, Kambosos, hey, go get your payday, man. Get your payday. You got the leverage. If Devin Haney wants to fight you, I'm sure he said he wants to fight you next. He got on Twitter and said he wants to fight, Kambosos next. Eddie Hearn says he wants to make that fight happen next. Let's make it happen. I mean, hell, we could do that fight in Australia. This is not going to do nothing but build the fight, even make the fight even bigger. We could put it in arena, outdoor arena, kind of like how they did Jeff Horn and Manny Pacquiao. And at the same time, some people were out here saying that Kambosos beating Teofimo Lopez was probably the biggest upset in Australian boxing history. I mean, it's up there, but I kind of beg to differ. I think Jeff Horn beating Manny Pacquiao is a bigger upset, ladies and gentlemen. That's really, truly debatable, because in that fight, a lot of people said, oh, man, Manny Pacquiao beat Jeff Horn. But when them judges read them scorecards, and when I went back and watched that fight, I understand how the judges could have had it scored where they had it scored for Jeff Horn against Manny Pacquiao. Now, Teofimo Lopez said he won that fight 10-2. You're delusional. You're delusional. You lost the fight, bro. Just give credit where it's due. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. You came out too hot. You didn't take George Kambosos serious. And you had too much. You were too distracted. When you sitting there going on vacation, playing these games, going on this network, going on that network, going through stuff with Bob, talking about everybody else, worried about too many things, showing up at other fights, getting into it with Devin Haney and stuff. George Kambosos was training the entire time. That's why I kind of knew. I'm like, damn, George Kambosos is focused. T.O. is not focused. He's too distracted. He wants to be the superstar doing all these things, and then we get in the ring, you lose. You lose. And he had a child, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot of distractions as opposed to just training. George Kambosos got to just train. He was in the gym the entire time. You were doing all these things, running around, flying here, flying there, doing that, doing commercials, doing TikToks, trying to build your name, build your brand. And I'm not mad at you, but at the same time, dude, you got a job to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to zone in. Seemed like the only advice that your dad was giving you in the corner was get this guy up out of there, cursing at you and stuff. No true advice, really. No adjustments were being made. No, hey, slow down, go to the body a little bit. He's trying to time you, time him, counter him, be first sometimes. He wasn't trying to do none of that. Work the jab a little bit, come back, jab, body. When he tried to hit you, body, counter him with a jab, keep him at, on the India punches. None of that. It was just right hands, wheeling and kneeling, just trying to just load up, sit down, load up on the right hands early. That's it. And George Kambosos was still there. You should have made adjustments. What was the backup plans? What was the backup plans, man? That's why y'all lost the fight. You didn't have any good adjustments. You didn't have a plan A, B, and C, or D, hell, or E. You didn't have none of that. It was just get him up out of there. End this. Really? He's still here, Pops. You got anything else for me? You want to help me out a little bit and actually coach? You know what I'm saying? But let me get this. Teofimo Lopez making excuses, like I said. Now, that's the same Teofimo Lopez I was getting on Deontay Wilder, talking about Deontay Wilder's acting like a B. Just take your loss like a man. You were making all these excuses to Tyson Fury. And he was talking about the second Tyson Fury fight with all the controversy, right? Teofimo Lopez gets up there, takes the microphone, proceeds to blame it on the weight, blame it on, judges. I won 10-2. I was away from my family too long, and the weight. Like I said, man, I didn't want to hear none of that, bro. You lost. Man, you lost. So I don't know who you over here talking about somebody else making excuses. You got up there and literally made excuses because you lost. I don't know if that's karma or whatever. Teofimo Lopez is a great fighter. He handled he did a good job. He just came up short. He tried to start too fast, didn't make adjustments, and didn't take Kambosos that serious. And hey, came back to bite you in the ass. What else we got? Is George Kambosos on your pound for pound list right now? Does he deserve to be on the pound for pound list? I think some people had Teo probably in the back half of the pound for pound list. Tank is trying to make an argument to be on everybody's pound for pound list. Listen, George Kambosos is over Tank when it comes to the pound for pound list. Teofimo Lopez is over Tank when it comes to the pound for pound list. Tank is a great fighter, but the biggest, I think Teofimo Lopez and Kambosos have bigger wins on their resume, or a bigger win on their resume than Gervonta Tank Davis. Not to mention, Kambosos has the belt right now. Kambosos is running 135. Now, who's making more money? Tank. Tank is making more money. Tank is putting on more of a spectacle of a fight and coming out here, and he's more fan friendly and delivering and knocking dudes out. Will we get Gervonta Tank Davis and Kambosos? I doubt it. I doubt that. I think everybody's gonna say, "Oh, Mayweather won't let him come over and do this." Dude, they're making money. I think it all depends on the goal of what you want. You want to get the belts and be told what to do, or you want to be the true A side, make your money, which that's the ultimate goal in prize fighting. As I hear one of my neighbor's cars, okay, I'm about to say somebody's alarm is going off. Anyway, yeah, as that is the main goal in prize fighting, hence the keyword prize fighting. It's all about money, ladies and gentlemen. And Tank is making it. Devin Haney is making it as far as how much Devin Haney is being paid. Now his numbers are being raised, and hey, like I said, you check the MGM ticket sales right now, they're looking good for Devin Haney and JoJo Diaz. So we'll see what happens, man. But I doubt we get Gervonta Tank Davis and Kambosos. I think more realistic, we were going to have George Kambosos and Devin Haney, especially since both of those fighters are on the zone. We'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it, man. Eddie said, well, hold on, is Kambosos, is he with Bob or is he with Eddie? We'll see. Bottom line is they're going to work something out. We're going to get undisputed. Because pretty soon, if Devin Haney gets undisputed, if he beats JoJo Diaz and then Kambosos, he's gonna move up. He's been having the same problems at 35, like Teofimo Lopez, because these are big dudes sucking themselves down to make a 135. They want to go to 140. They're gonna feel better. They're gonna be different fighters. I think Devin will be a lot better at 40 than he will be at 35. People say, "Oh, Devin doesn't have power." I think his power is gonna come. First of all, he's what 20, 22? So he's gonna start getting his strength. Number one. Number two, now you got even more pounds. Now you're gonna feel a lot better. You're gonna be a problem. You're gonna be a problem in 140. But yeah, man, we got another fight that happened last night. What fight was that? Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa. Stephen Fulton and Brandon Figueroa. Great fight down in Las Vegas, man. They handled their business, the unification at 122. What can I say about that fight? Was it controversy? No, not really. Not to me. Was it a great fight? Absolutely. Was it a rock'em sock'em robot? Yes. Was it a phone booth fight? Yes. Was it a firefight? Yes. Were you happy about the fight? Yes. Were you thoroughly entertained? Yes. It's a win-win for me, ladies and gentlemen. It's a win-win. That's how I see it. But some people are going to be upset at the result. A lot of judges had it for Brandon. I mean, not Brandon, for Stephen Fulton. He won the fight. Some people said Brandon Figueroa won the fight, and guess what? Whoever lost, they did the exact same thing that Teofimo Lopez did. Post-fight interview inside of the ring, Brandon Figueroa grabs the mic and starts saying, he feels like he won that fight, and blah blah blah. Well, guess what? Stephen Fulton said, we can do it again. Let's do it again. Brandon Figueroa said, okay, we could do it again, but then kind of backtracks and says, ain't no point in me doing it again. He wants to go to 126. He was already having trouble making weight. Now, dude, Brandon Figueroa is a big 122 pounder. That's crazy. He's big. But I think the argument was Brandon Figueroa was applying more pressure on Stephen Fulton, and he was doing a lot more work. But then Stephen Fulton, in response to that, Stephen Fulton says, hey, I was landing the cleaner shots. You were smothering a lot of your work. hitting on the gloves, hitting this, hitting on the back of the head, hitting low. I was stepping back, hitting you with the cleaner shots. Now listen, however you want to do it, however you want to look at the fight, it could have went either way. Great fight though. If you want to go by cleaner shots or you want to look at activity and who's applying the pressure and ring generalship, and it was just crazy. Brandon Figueroa literally just comes in, head down, head on your chest, hit you. He's gonna hit you wherever he can hit you, side of the head, body, just smothering punches, forearms in the middle, not fighting dirty, but we talking phone booth style fights. He's gonna try to keep you on them ropes, make you try to move around and just waste some energy to try to just get a little bit of space. If you don't have the type of punch selection, if you're not, have the ring, just if you're not, you don't have the ring IQ to keep Brandon Figueroa off of you as far as what punches to throw at the right time, uppercuts, counter, spacing, work the jab, set him up with little traps here and there, know how to hold, reset. If you don't have that in your arsenal, Brandon Figueroa is going to wear you out. And that's what I was thinking, like the first half of the fight. I'm like, dog, it was like round 4. I'm like, damn, I don't know how Stephen Fulton is going to last with all of this, man. God, Lee, Brandon Figueroa was just all on him. And it was times where Stephen Fulton was throwing combinations, in the middle of an exchange. It was times where Stephen Fulton was stepping back, catching Brandon flush coming in. It was times where Stephen Fulton even turned and put Brandon Figueroa on the ropes for a while. But listen, salute to the ref because he had his hands full, man, having to break these dudes up. My God. Great fight, man. Honestly, who deserves a rematch more? Teofimo Lopez or Brandon Figueroa? Both guys lost. I think that Figueroa Fulton fight was a lot closer than the Kambosos and Teofimo Lopez fight. Honestly, I think I would have been okay with a draw. If Stephen Fulton would have got a draw instead of winning the fight, I would have been okay with it. If Brandon Figueroa wouldn't have won the fight by like maybe 1 or 2 rounds, I would have been okay with it. Honestly, it was that kind of fight. It was that close of a fight, ladies and gentlemen. But what else we got going on? Oh shoot, what else we got going on? Is Stephen Fulton and Kambosos on your pound for pound list? And where would you put those guys at? Honestly, where would you put those guys at? I think it was like 6th, 7th, 8th undefeated fighter that Stephen Fulton has beat. Unified champion. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't argue with that. He deserves to be on the pound for pound list. Top 10, 7, 8, 9, 10 area. I mean, then again, like Kambosos, where do you put Kambosos? If Tio was on the pound for pound list and I beat Tio, I need to be on the pound for pound list. That's how I feel. I got all the belts at 135. I'm running 135. I'm the king of 135. Y'all can't stop me, baby. We taking them things back to Australia. You feel what I'm saying? That's a good question, though. Who do y'all got? Where would you put Stephen Felton and George Kambosos at on your pound for pound list? Where? A lot of people coming out saying they would fight Kambosos, Ryan Garcia. Like I said, you're irrelevant right now. Get you a tune-up, heal up from your hand surgery, and then we can see what happens later on down the line. Right now, you are not relevant, sir. Go. You got business to handle. You got to get back. You don't get to come back from an injury. Say, I'll fight Kambosos next. No, you don't. It don't work like that. And it really pisses me off that you really think you can just leapfrog Devin Haney from having that shot at Undisputed when you are Devin Haney's mandatory. Or you were supposed to be. But, you got injured. I'm not even going to do that. Let me take that back because he was really injured. He had a hand injury. You know what I'm saying? So let's come back, pray for his, full recovery. I don't want no issues with you coming back. I want you to be strong. Like I say, my motto is I want the best fighting the best at their best. That's it. I don't want no excuses. If you lost, you lost. But guess what? You fought the best. That's how I feel. I don't care if you lose. I just care if you actually put up a fight and take this game serious. That goes to any fighter. I don't care if you lose. I wanted Wilder to beat Tyson Fury. He lost. I was picking Loma over Tio. He lost. And guess what? When one of your fighters one of the fighters that you choose to win in that particular fight loses, you give respect to the other fighter for implementing a great game plan, going out there handling their business. and you move on to the next. Just because you lose, that doesn't mean we don't want to see you fight again. No, you just came up short. You go back to the drawing board, and this is where see you can see yourself coming back up. You know, this is where you get your revenge. This is where you go back, turn into a menace. You make everybody punish. You make everybody feel your pain. You punish everybody for the mistake you made and not taking this game serious, not taking your last opponent serious. Maybe you missing something in your camp. You implement a new game plan. You add things, more things to your arsenal. That's how you win. That's how you win. You learn from your mistakes. It doesn't matter if you lose. Don't care about that. I want to see T.O. come back strong. Maybe he'll be a different fighter at 140 because he's not killing himself to get down to 135. Now you different. Now, you know, you got the punching power. Now you focused. Now you're not going to get tired as much. Now you're not going to feel drained trying to come down there and beat them dudes. You beat Loma, and I like what he said as far as I take my losses like I take my wins. Yeah, it is what it is. Great fight, great crowd, man. I just didn't like the end of the fight as far as the post-fight stuff, you know, grabbing the microphone. And that goes for Brandon Figueroa, too. I ain't like that. It make you look like a sore loser. And then when they ask you, do you want to do it again? You said no. Then you said yes. Then you said no. Like, I don't even want to hear. Then what you crying about? You lost. Salute to Brandon Figueroa. Salute to Stephen Fulton. Salute to Teofimo Lopez. Salute to George Kambosos. Great performances by Stephen Fulton and George Kambosos. Listen, both of those guys should be on your pound for pound list. You guys let me know where you think they should be at. With that being said, it's your host, F. Merritt. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button for all things sports entertainment related. Support who supports you. And with that being said, I am gone. Pound for pound sports entertainment. I'm out.